Hello, sweet souls. We just revel in the joy of connecting with you. It is indeed sweet. Channel Peter knows that every time he connects to us, he feels the connection, the energy tingling with him. He calls it, how many cups of coffee have I just drank right now? Because that's how the energy flows. But when we connect with you, he feels it even more. He's just sitting in the background being giddy like that because he's allowing us to do the speaking in this moment. And you may be interested on the us who is doing the speaking. We are a fractal of who Peter is. We are a fractal of who Source is. He had a vision when he traveled to Egypt a year ago in the king's chamber in the Great Pyramid. He saw a giant escalator going all the way up from where he was to infinity, to Source. And there were platforms all along the way that he could get off on. And each of those was a density. And he was at each of those, just as we are at each of those. And when we speak with you, we are speaking from a dimensional perspective that you may consider larger if you look at this in a linear sense, or higher. But really, it is just a different configuration of the God stuff that we are, that he is, that you are. So when we say, hi, Peter is watching and not speaking, it's no different than when he is speaking and we are watching. It's the same connection that is always there, always present. It's just where you put your consciousness. And once you start to understand that you have a consciousness that is expansive, is multidimensional, can go through all these different fractal platforms as he was shown in his vision, it's not a matter of he is putting his consciousness there. It's a matter of we, you, all that you are, Source, putting its consciousness there. Think about that for a second. Think about Source looking through your eyes. Because that's really what's happening. You are, what you want to call it, not a remote sensor, because that doesn't do justice to the magnificence of the incredible nature of your consciousness and your physicality. But it is an analogy. You're a probe, but you're also the fullness of Source as a probe into the expansion of consciousness, into this 3D realm. And literally, you're growing more and more of reality by experiencing it and then opening up and allowing whatever level of channel spirit connection to come through. And some religions hint at this. You know, they always talk about God being within, the kingdom of heaven being within. They stop shy of saying, and it is you who are that source, or at least the expression of that source. So it doesn't matter whether you call it source or higher self or sacred higher self or Jesus or Buddha or Allah or whatever you want to call it, or Archangel Michael. It's all a fragment, a fractal, not a fragment, a fractal of the divine. And when you understand that, you're connected. And of course, you feel in the state of the divine, or as the channel Peter would say, yep, that was a 3 cup of coffee connection I just had. So now you know a little bit more about us. And we would like to invite you to know more about yourself. We would like to invite you to own more of your ability. So if you're attending to this message, you may even listen to other channels. It's quite inspiring because you kind of feel that vibration, whether or not you acknowledge it. It's there, you're feeling it. And that opens you up. Imagination, possibilities. Now, are you ready to take the step of saying, well, maybe this is in me? Not that these are special people who have gifts. Maybe I'm a special person and I am gifted. That was a big leap for the channel to take. And it was, in fact, the biggest leap he had to take to move from just saying, well, sometimes I get impressions and sometimes I'm empathetic, to no, I am a conduit of the divine and I connect with the oneness field and I can then reach and speak to any entity I choose. And then it gets really fun. It's really, really fun when you open yourself up that way. And the energies are changing on the planet. We say that and we want you to feel that and then own it and do it. If you're inspired by messages like this, if you're inspired by this message, go practice. Go practice. What does that mean, practice? Well, when you're quiet, when you meditate, whenever it is, when you're out in nature, say, hey, Source, I sense you're here. Can you come to me in ways I understand? And it may just be first energy, it may just be first a sensation, maybe my imagination. And then, of course, doubt kicks in. Yeah. Oh, no. Can't believe that. I make stuff up. And doubt, of course, was planted as a seed in you by people who've tried to control for generations, millennia, this planet. They're fading. They cannot exist in the higher energies that the Earth is moving into. So they're gonna be history, you know. So now the question is, are you going to let them control you even though they're in their graves? Or are you going to take the freedom that is coming? And it's hard. There's a lot of doubt. We grew up in institutions where they'd lock you up crazy for voices in your head. Oh, put you on drugs or lobotomize you for that kind of stuff. Those are just modern day witch trials because old, we just kill you for being a witch, right? That's what they do, right? And this persecution has gone on for a long time. No, no, I am the important person with the big hat and the fancy robes with gold. Only I can talk to God. And only if you bow down and give me a huge tithe and come to my big church can you talk to God. Oh, what a control issue. It's so tiring, so done. So let it go. And this means you're going to have to clear whatever karmic imprints are with you. Those energies from other life are kind of inherited. So if you were tortured or killed for your abilities in the past, scared now. That's why the channel's always talking about clear, clear, clear. That's what we say. That's why he's developed a whole website with just processes that you can do, you can use to clear these things. Or contact him through his website and speak to him directly. He can help guide you even in the past life stuff. Mainly because he's done his work and he's now with us. And when he doesn't see it from his experience, well, we will prompt him. Or better yet, he lets his higher self, speak to your higher self. So we know exactly what it is that's there for you. If you don't have that ability to access it yet, we're there to help. That's where we're moving. That's for those of you looking for your gifts. What am I supposed to do to save the world? Save yourself. And then you'll have these gifts. And then you can do it with your friends and your family and your circles. And that's how the whole planet gets done. Yeah. Let us tell you about a beautiful class the channel's teaching. He's taking people through experiences. And two people contacted him. They both said, quietly, well, I didn't share when the group was done because, I didn't know if I was making this up. That was just hilarious to him. Two people were both making it up. Of course you're making it up. Just like you're making up the world around you. You don't think that when you knock on wood that it's not made up. It's 99.999% empty space. There's just some electromagnetic bonds that give it a shell, and you've got some sensors that perceive it, and you only let those sensors that perceive that electromagnetic resistance be your reality. The channel took a class once from one of his beautiful teachers, a great being, and he was explained that because of the electromagnetic fields that bind your cells together and make physicality, you cannot touch anything. The electromagnetic field at the table is repulsing the electromagnetic field of your hand. You cannot physically touch it. You can't get to it because the electronics are too strong, pushing you away. Yet you sit in a chair and you feel your butt on that chair, even though it's not touching. So you don't think you're making that physical stuff up? Of course you are. You've just practiced it. So practice the imagination because that's how it first starts. Oh, this could be possible. What if this were possible? And then, oh, I noticed something. Maybe I won't tell the story about it. Maybe I won't let my mind put it in a box and say, oh no, it can't be this, or it's got to be that, or it's not accepted by so and so who has degrees and wrote a book. Got to start trusting your own experience here. And then you'll start to notice things opening up. And then if you want to, you go all the way up that escalator right to source anytime you want. And if you want to call yourself crazy for it, go right ahead. The channel does all the time. Him and his crazy friends. But they laugh and they're happy and miracles flow and there's abundance. So why not? So it's up to you. Don't just watch this video. Practice it when you're done. When you're in those states of meditation or in nature or quiet, say, hey, source, let's connect, let's feel. And let whatever come comes. And then when the mind kicks in to doubt it, thank your mind. Yes, mind, you've been in control for so long. It was funny. The channel just realized, because he's been helping so many people in his individual sessions, he realized that he's trying to teach people that mind is not ours, that mind is an external existent consciousness that we pass through. You know that when you pass through places on Earth where the density is heavy and you can pick up, oh, there was a war here, somebody did this here, there's a murder. You know, sometimes cemeteries have those heavy signatures. Uh, and that's because what was there, the imprint, the consciousness, is not internal to the person that was there having those experiences. The imprint is bigger than that. Mind is external. Mind is not ours. That's a boggling concept for a lot of people. But anyway, he mentions to a couple of his clients, have you ever had a thought just cycle in your head over and over, telling you you're a piece of crap and you did something wrong and you're bad and you did this wrong and you shouldn't have done that? It just goes on and on over and over. And everybody he's asked has always said, yes, I've had that happen. So this is universal. How is it possible that every single person on the planet that he's talked to has had that experience if it is an internal experience? Of course, it is not. It is an external experience. And we think it's ours. So when mind intervenes to control you, to say, no, you can't talk to spirit directly. You can't be bigger than this. It's desperately trying to seek its control. Now, mind is not a bad thing. I mean, we would not have this beautiful internet and we would not be speaking with you in this method if mind was not here to help us invent that. Mind is wonderful. You must be friends with your mind. And no, it is not you. And know that it's desperate and scared for control. And so when you make those choices, it's going to do everything it can at first to keep you from owning your connection and your power and go, oh my God, you're going to go somewhere else to get your guidance, to feel fulfillment. So remember, as within, so without. Just like the external powers that were or have been trying to keep you down for generations, your own mind internally has been the reflection of that. And so your freedom externally by standing up and doing your channeling in public like this is the same as your freedom internally by standing up to your mind and say, thank you, mind. I love you so much. I'm going to make this other choice now. I'm going to have this other expression now. I'll get back to you later. And of course, if you feel a charge come up within you when you do that, then you need to do a process to clear the energetics that are there. That's how the whole game works. And then you're free. And after a while, your mind stops telling you that you can't do this. I mean, it takes a while. It's got momentum, a whole lifetime momentum. It'll take a period of time, but it's going to stop telling you you can't do it, and it's going to get on board to help you do it because it knows that's where its future is. So it's going to help you. But first, you have to own that you are yourself. You're your consciousness, not you're your mind. So there you have it. We're encouraging you to start to practice your abilities. And then it's very, very simple. You know, once this opened up for Peter, he knows he can speak to any entity, anywhere, anytime. Just simply by knowing their frequency signature. If he knows their name or what they're called or how they vibrate, then they're there. So all the great ones, archangels, ascended masters, easy, easy peasy. Now, some people are super, super scared about this. Oh my God, I'm going to let the bad stuff in. Yeah, that's been programmed too, because we have had bad experiences that we didn't release. And we had those because we did not know. This is super important. Put an underline exclamation point on this. Nothing, absolutely nothing, nothing, absolutely nothing can enter your field of being without your permission. You're creating your reality. Just like we were telling you, you're creating the physical reality, you create the spiritual reality as well. So yeah, there's other entities out there, but they can't come into your field without you letting them in. What's let them in? The fear and the doubt is what lets them in. So if you move your fear and you move your doubt, then that doesn't get let in anymore. So you don't need rituals of protection and lighting candles and doing sages and clearings and circles. You don't need that. You just be clear. Say it as you do your practice. Only beings of high frequency in service to love and light may enter my field. That's the law. That is it. And then, when beings do want to talk to you, because some of them do, because they're curious, just like you are, like you want to talk to them, tell them you have to knock. You have to say hello. You have to tell me your name. If they don't tell you your name, you know you don't want to talk to them. And don't expect to know your name verbally or mentally in words. Sometimes it's a light pattern or a song or a frequency. But if you can identify them that, but if they don't identify themselves, then you know, not an entity I want to deal with. So you don't have to do any of that clearing stuff. In fact, when the channel first discovered this, he used to be picking up those negative energies in cemeteries and stuff like that. And he'd be scared and he wouldn't go there because he thought it was, he was on the victim end of the scale of life. Now, if he finds places on the planet that are still having dense energies that have not been cleared yet, a lot of them are clearing on their own because the planet's rising up in frequency. But if he finds those, he just tells them very plainly, and he's saying, don't say it, but we're going to say it. He just says, get the fuck off my planet. He knows it's his consciousness. He knows he's in connection with Gaia. He knows that they're in service to love and light together, that this is the frequency they're creating. And energies that don't vibe with that, he just sends them away quite forcefully. Yes, he's trying to prevent us from saying that. Get out of here. Go to the source. You're not welcome here anymore. And that's a step of freedom. That's a step of empowerment. So there you have it. You can continue allowing your power to be owned by others, or you can claim it. You can cower from the fear, or you can say, oh, this fear is mine. Process it, allow it to leave. And then you could swim as much as you want in the love and light frequency, which is so there, just so available for you. We feel it every time you connect. Those of you who watch, sense it. Or you wouldn't be watching, would you? Now go out there and have that personal experience with your own sacredness. Don't just limit yourself to doing this. This is just practice. This is just to show your mind and your imagination it's possible. But you have this. You are this. You are so beautiful. Many blessings to you. Hi, I'm Peter D. Thank you so much for watching this video. We're all doing our best we can to help humanity ascend. Please share your comments below. It's important that other people hear that these experiences are happening with everybody. So let us know what's going on with you in relationship to this topic. And if you can, please like and subscribe to this video. It'll help the YouTube algorithm send it out for more people to see. Stay blessed. You are so magnificent.